In our search so far, we found that part of what makes a Ferrari is the way it's built and the people who built it. This craftsmanship and pride can be traced back to the spirit of the Italian Renaissance. You could say the Renaissance lives on in Ferrari cars. Mr. Ferrari's passion for racing also lives on, as well as the Italian national passion for speed. These things are Ferrari, and what better way to experience them than by driving the newest Ferrari, the last Ferrari to debut under Mr. Ferrari's direction, the F40.
Forget the Testarossa. Forget the GTO. Leave the 328s to the streets of Southern California. This is the Ferrari of the hour. This is the F40. To call it Ferrari's fastest production model is an injustice. This car makes Ferrari red that much redder. This car's pinup poster will decorate boys' bedrooms for years to come. This car produces sensations that our videotape can't begin to reproduce. This F40 is a race car for the street, a true Corsaiolo. The chassis is made of steel tubing and plastic. The body is Kevlar and carbon fiber, hardly what we'd call production car construction. And the F40's interior is not the sort of place where you'd want to be during a traffic jam. There's not a radio to be found, let alone a trip computer, or the soft, frilly trappings we've come to expect in Gran Turismo GT cars. The F40 is for one thing only, hard driving, be it on the street or on the track. And everything, including these carbon fiber seats, is up to that task. The typical Ferrari gated shifter is the only interior bright work. On the prototype we saw, there wasn't even a trim panel for the door, just a cable handle and enough carbon fiber for structural integrity. The dash has the simple job of holding the instruments where the driver can see them. Immediately ahead, the driver is burdened by as few instruments as possible. Secondary gauges are out of direct view, as are the vents for the less than state-of-the-art ventilation system. Yet nothing is here that shouldn't be. Even the clutch, brake, and accelerator pedals are finely machined works of weight savings. And in that spirit, this lightweight plastic racing window is optional. This F40 is a European version. The 180 or so examples that make it to the States will be slightly different in detail. There may be a few more comforts, but not many. That would spoil the car. For those who drive the minimalist F40 for a long distance on the highway, there's special F40 luggage that's designed to fit in the few spots where there's unused space. The F40 is most at home on the racetrack, or at least an open, very open road. And what better place to try it than Ferrari's own Fiorano test track? This is where the new Super Ferrari surprised us most. As in most race-bred cars, the controls are heavy to the touch. You'll need a good, strong left leg for pushing the clutch pedal. Aside from that, the F40 has few other vices. It can be driven close to the edge of its capabilities without superhuman capabilities from its driver. But going fast around corners isn't the only thing the F40 does well. Power comes from a 3-liter V8. It's a further development of the engine used in Ferrari's GTO. It has all the things you'd expect in today's high-performance engines: 4 valves per cylinder, 4 cams, and twin turbos with intercoolers. Output is 471 horsepower. Enough said. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, that's about 62 miles per hour, takes a short 4.1 seconds. Getting to the end of 1 kilometer, that's just over 6/10 of a mile, takes 20.9 seconds. And by then, the F40 is running at 166 miles per hour. Top speed, according to the factory, is 201 miles per hour. As for stopping, we didn't have the opportunity for our usual brake test. But rest assured, the F40's is pretty adept at using friction to turn speed into harmless heat. For that, there are brake rotors as large as some cars' wheels, 13 inches. One behind each of the F40's 17-inch wheels. And there's no power assist. The F40 doesn't need it. Getting the brakes to work doesn't take nearly as much leg muscle as the clutch pedal. Good thing. The brakes in this car work so well, stops at high speed could be delayed for much longer than we'd thought. After the Fiorano drive, Ferrari let us take the F40 out to see how it looked among the Apennine Mountains above Maranello. It looked, well, at home. The F40 is just hospitable enough to be a road-going car, much to the surprise of some Maranello cyclists. The F40 on the street is an experience not many will forget. If you want an F40 for your own country motoring, the privilege will cost you about $260,000. And unlike the super exotics from some other makers, this one will be sold in the U.S. Problem is, every one has been spoken for. In fact, Ferrari of North America has had more orders than the factory can begin to fill. In the end, the F40 is something we will only drive in our dreams. But what sweet dreams they will be.